Hi everyone. Welcome to Mock Guesstimate series brought to you by UpScale Talks. So the essence of this series is that we are trying to give you virtually the entire experience of an interview. For today's session, Naman will be solving a guesstimate problem for us. So hi Naman, can we begin with the session?
Yes, hi Archit, we can begin.
Oh, okay, sure. So can you note down a problem statement for me, and we will try to guess the what the actual number is.
All right, sure.
Okay, so I want you to estimate the number of AirPods in India. Is the question clear to you?
All right, we have to estimate the number of AirPods in India, right?
Exactly.
All right. I have few questions to ask here. Are we looking to calculate for a specific brand or product, or all kinds of AirPods?
We can say we can go for a specific brand.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, you can consider the brand to be Apple, and you can calculate the AirPods for Apple.
Okay. And also, for what time period are we looking to calculate the purchase AirPods?
Okay, you can just calculate that how many AirPods are sell within 1 year of time span,
Okay,
yearly
so I
sales.
just yeah, so I just need couple of minutes to think of the approach, and then we'll proceed with that.
Sure, Naman.
All right. To solve this particular problem, I would start by looking at the total population of India, which we have in India right now, and then we see at the number of households present in India. So we can take a assumption of the number of persons living in a particular household to be something, and then after that we'll categorize these households based on their income, and then we'll see the affordability of the people, of what percentage of the people out of these households will be able to purchase the airports, and then we can look at calculating the final answer of the number of people who will finally purchase the airports, right?
Okay, Naman, I think we can proceed and we shall talk about this later.
All right. So I just start by looking at the total population. For the total population, we can take the Indian population to be 140 crores.
Okay.
Uh, and then we can look at the number of households. So I'm assuming that in a typical household, we can assume the average number to be 4 persons in a household. So should I go ahead with this assumption?
Okay, sure, Naman, you can go ahead with this assumption for now.
All right. So simply dividing the total population by 4, we comes to a value of 35 CR, which is the total number of households present in India.
Okay.
And then, as I said, that we can look at the income segmentation. So we can break down the number of households into four different segments. So firstly, the higher class, which will be having high income, and then the middle class and lower middle class, and then finally the low class. So
Okay.
I'm breaking down in these four segments.
Sure, Naman.
All right.
Can you just tell me what percentages are you assigning to each of these classes?
All right. So for the upper class, I'm assuming that there will be 10% of the total population present in the upper class, and so we can calculate the number of 10%. So 10% comes out to be 3.5 cr, and then we can look at the like upper middle class. So in the upper middle class, I'm assuming that there will be 20% population. So
Okay.
calculating the 20%, it comes out to be 7 CR. And then after that, we can look at the middle class. So there will be a slightly higher percentage of the middle class because a lot of population is present in this particular segment. So I'm assuming it to be 50%. So 50% of 35 CRs, CR comes out to be 7.5 CR. and then the rest over percentage is in the lower class. So the lower class comes out to be 20%. That again comes out to be 7 CR.
Okay.
So yeah. So now I will look at the affordable class. So because I have divided the whole population in these segments, but not all kinds of people will be able to purchase such a costly device. For example, the AirPods, and specifically the Apple brand AirPods are very costly. So I'm assuming certain percentage of people that will be able to buy these products, and for that I have to look at the affordable class.
Okay.
All right. So for the upper class, I'm assuming that that all the people present in the upper class will be in an affordable segment because of their income, average income. So I'm assuming 100% of the people present in upper class are affordable class. That comes out to be 3.5 CR. Then looking at the upper middle class, I'm assuming that 80% of these segment people will be able to afford the product. So calculating 80%, so 80% of 7 CR comes out to be 5.6 crores. So this is the value of the affordable class for upper middle segment.
Okay.
And then we can look at the middle class. So I'm not sure that many people in the middle class will be able to, buy such kinds of products, and they'll be looking to buy more of the necessary items. And even if they want to buy earphones or such devices, they would go after the small brands and the less costlier brands. So I'm assuming just the 20% of the people in middle class to be in affordable section.
Okay.
All right. And then I'm neglecting the lower class because I think very small number of people will be in the affordable class here, and so we can neglect that part. So yeah.
Okay, Naman.
All right. So now I will try to look at the number of people who will be buying AirPods in these segments, and the number of like AirPods purchased in particular household, because some households will be buying two AirPods and some will be buying one AirPods. So we can look at those percentages differently.
Okay.
So should I move ahead with this approach?
Yeah, yeah, Naman, you can move ahead.
All right. So I just need few seconds to think of the percentages.
Mm-hmm. Take your time.
So for the affordable class in the upper class segment, I'm assuming that 10% of these many households will be purchasing two AirPods, and 20% will be purchasing one AirPods. uh, so because this is the upper class, so in some of the households they can purchase more than one airpods also. For example, if there is two children present in a household, so there can be two airpods in those families. So that's why I'm assuming that. And
Okay.
20% will be purchasing one airpod, so that comes out to be 0.7 cr in both the cases. And then we can look at the upper middle class. So for the upper middle class, I'm assuming to be a slightly less percentage than this. So for example, in the for two airpods purchased by a single household, I'm assuming that there will be 5% of such households. So that value comes out to be 0.56 cr. And
Okay.
for the 10% for the one product purchased every household, I'm assuming that there will be 10% households. So that value also comes out to be 0.56 cr.
Okay.
So that is for the upper middle class segment. And now we can look at the middle class segment. So in the middle class, I'm assuming that there won't be many households that will be purchasing two or three products. So I'm assuming that there will be only 10% of these households who will be purchasing one product. So that value comes out to be 0.35 cr.
Okay.
So these are the different number of AirPods purchased by the households. So now we can, sum it up and see the total number.
Okay.
So calculating the final number, total AirPods. So the value is coming out to be approximately 3 CR.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the rough figure. And so now these are the total number of AirPods purchased in India. But we have to look for 1 year, particularly time duration. So what we can do is we can look at the average life of our AirPods, and so I'm assuming that there will be the average life of a airport will be approximately 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
because if you look at, I don't have a airpods in my, uh, I don't use a airpod, but I use a laptop. So any gadget, electronic gadget, has an average life of 4 to 5 years, so that's why I'm assuming that. So
Okay.
taking that, we can calculate the airports purchased every year, and there will be also a yearly growth. Uh, so I'm assuming that there will be 10% growth every year. So
Mm-hmm.
taking also that into consideration, we can calculate the number of airports purchased every year. So
Okay.
calculating that value. So the airports purchased every year is coming out to be 82.5 lakhs. So these many airports are purchased every year. So now we can, as we have to look for the Apple brand, so we can take a percentage market share of Apple. So I'm assuming the market share of Apple to be 30%.
Okay,
So
fine.
is this the right assumption?
Yeah, Naman, 30% is fine enough.
All right. So taking 30% of the market share, so we can look at the number of AirPods purchased in India every year, multiplying by zero point 0.3. So the value comes out to be, so calculating the 30% of 82.5 lakhs, it is approximately coming out to be 25 lakhs. So this is the final answer I'm getting.
Okay, Naman. So I think you solved the problem fairly. First of all,
Mhm.
I would like to appreciate you on 2 points that you included in your approach. The first one
Mhm.
was that you considered an average life cycle of a product, and the second one was that you included the yearly growth as well. So this answer seems to be fair enough. But if given the opportunity, so what would you like to change in this approach, or you can you think of any better approach? Because I can think I have one in my mind. So I think that's matlab, it's on the similar lines that you have, but I think we could have made more segregations, because honestly it's not that clear to me what actually do you mean by affordable class. So if
Mhm.
given opportunity, what else can you improve in this approach?
All right. Can I take few seconds or minutes
Yeah, sure,
to think
sure.
of some alternative approach?
Sure,
Wait.
sure.
The like right now I have segmented based on the income and the people that can afford to buy airports, and then I have taken some percentage. So an alternate approach to this can be, I can look at some professions where the airports are needed. For example, I can take different age groups, and for example, below the 15 age group, students won't be using AirPods. And also, if we take above 50 age group, then also people are not so sure about using the new devices. So we can look at particular age groups, and then we can see their affordability and come to a final answer. So this can be an alternate approach to this.
Okay, Naman. So that also seems a very good approach. But
Mhm.
what would I have done in this situation is that when we started with 140 crores, I would have firstly
Mhm.
segmented it into the urban and the rural population, because according to me, the awareness of AirPods or the products that we are talking about in this problem statement are,
Mhm.
more in the urban areas that in comparison to the rural areas. So we somehow in this approach neglected that point and didn't take that into consideration. Also, based on that, I would have, you just simply divided the average, you consider it to be average family to be of size of a 4. So probably that could have
Mhm.
also differentiated in the case of urban and the rural population, and I would have then followed the same approach that you have done. But according to me, segregating on the basis of the rural and urban would have given us a much different answer in this aspect, because I think the awareness is much more in the urban population rather than the rural one. What are your views on this?
Right. I also think that that is a fair point, and we can do that. I think the answer would change a bit. As we can see some trends, so there are a lot of people in rural areas also that are nowadays purchasing. But seeing that there is a significant difference in both the urban areas and the rural areas, so we can look towards that approach. That would be a bit more fair towards coming to the
Okay,
final answer. Yeah.
fine, Naman. So thank you very much for solving this problem statement for you, and thanks to all of you who are watching this video. Thanks for tuning in. Bye bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Archit. Bye.